Hello, dear friend. My name is Evgeny Chernogubov. I run the company that, together with doctors and scientists practicing in various medical institutions, has been conducting research, developing and manufacturing devices in the field of bioresonance technologies for more than 20 years. Today, the consumers of our technologies are about 300,000 families around the world. Now, I will not advertise our manufacturing and our products. Today, I would like to tell you what bioresonance is, and not only tell, but also show it in use. Let's start from history. In 1920, a scientist Royal Raymond Rife invented the world's first ultraviolet microscope and micromanipulator. Using this sophisticated apparatus, Rife was the first to see a live virus. Rife painstakingly identified the individual emission spectrum of each microbe using the properties of the spectral slice. Then he acted on the virus with its own frequency, which led to a resonance. The resonance increased the emission of the frequency, much like two ocean waves reinforce each other when they merge together. Thus, the scientist increased their natural oscillations until the viruses died from emission. Thus, the research was started, during which it turned out that bacteria, viruses, fungi and worms emitted a certain frequency of electromagnetic oscillations. And this means that by acting on their own frequency, it is possible to help the body get rid of parasites. For ease of understanding, we can give an example of the destruction of a wine glass from sound. If you hit the glass lightly with a spoon, it will ring like a bell at its resonant frequency. If the glass is subjected to sound pressure at a certain frequency, it begins to vibrate. As the stimulus continues, the vibration in the glass is accumulated until it destroys when mechanical limits are exceeded. Now, I would like to show the effect of resonance on various microorganisms. To do this, I need a good microscope with a camera connected, a professional frequency generator connected to a computer, where I can set a special signal shape and frequency, and a special emitter antenna, which is used in our devices. I will place it under a petri dish or glass slide. Before we start our experiments, I would like to show you something. I'll get tap water. Let's look at water under a microscope. There are a lot of living organisms here. Most of them will die in our stomach, but some can perfectly continue to live in our body, causing various diseases. Let's open a pack of rice and see what lives on it. It's good that we cook rice for a long time before eating. If you like bananas, then this is for you. Life is present here too. And what lives in the pulp? Let's get a look. Here we have found several bacteria and a strongyloid larva. It is the larva of a parasitic roundworm that can cause disease in humans and animals. The larva can penetrate the skin or mucous membranes and spread throughout the body through the blood and lymph. Getting into our mouth, it quickly penetrates into the blood capillaries and causes a reaction in our body only after 17 to 28 days, causing diarrhea. Let's run a cotton wool stick across an office door handle and see what might live on it. As you can see, there are a lot of pathogens here. Many types of bacteria, especially many bacteria called Shigella. When they get into our body, they cause an acute intestinal infection if we did not wash our hands well enough, scratched our eyes or nose, or ate, for example, a tangerine. At the same time, let's look at tangerines. There is life on the surface too. Let's clean it up and take a look inside. Let's look at the pulp. Here we see fungal spores, and we also see Ascaris eggs. Each egg contains up to 175,000 larvae, which during migration feed first on our blood serum, and then on red blood cells. As they grow older, roundworm individuals grow in our body up to 45 centimeters. They can also be observed on a sponge, a cotton pad, which we will run over the pads of the dog's paws after walking. As you can see, there are a lot of worms. Let's go back to food and see what's in shawarma. Carrots, cabbage, potatoes, and now the most interesting thing is meat. Here we see worms and their eggs in abundance. Most of them have died during heat treatment, but some seem to be alive. Here you can find a variety of parasites, and if you get even closer, we see a flagellated protozoan, Giardia. Giardia is a protozoan that can cause the disease giardiasis in humans and animals. Giardia parasitizes in the small intestine and can penetrate into the bile ducts. Giardiasis can be present with various symptoms such as diarrhea, nausea, bloating, fatigue, weight loss, etc. Cysts are transmitted by water and food, or by insects such as flies. Today, 20% of all people on Earth, i.e. every fifth person, carries Giardia in his body. Well, the last thing I would like to see and share with you is sushi. I love fresh sushi. Let's see what's in the fish. There is also a variety of living microorganisms. A huge number of larvae. Roundworm larvae entering our body migrate with the bloodstream. Here are the shots where the larva feeds on the erythrocyte in the blood. When it grows up, it will attach itself in the intestines, where it will mature to sexual maturity and lay several thousand eggs. Why am I showing you this? Not to scare. I just want to share with you the information that we are literally surrounded by various microorganisms, many of which our body has to constantly fight. And if suddenly the immune system weakens, or too much pollution enters our body, then infection is inevitable. Knowing all this and turning to new technologies, one can perfectly engage in prevention and prevent a huge number of diseases caused by various fungi, viruses, helminths, and bacteria. So let's get back to the effect of bioresonance. Let's connect the electronic frequency generator to the antennas. We will place the antennas on the microscope platform under a petri dish or glass slide, and we will apply a special frequency with the correct signal shape. Today, thanks to our experiments, we know more than 750,000 frequencies that lead to resonance and suppression of various microorganisms. Now, we will see this process in use. That's what bioresonance does to the roundworm egg for a few seconds. The rupture of the membrane is like the rupture of a wine glass, isn't it? This is resonance in use. Now let's see how bioresonance will act on older species. When the effect begins, the discomfort causes the parasites to perk up. The larger the parasite, the longer it takes to work on it to get the result. So we will slightly speed up the video. After 10 minutes, we see a completely dead colony. Let's see what happens to the larva in the blood under the same exposure. Here the result is seen quite quickly. This is what happens to bacteria at the moment of bioresonance. These principles of influence formed the basis of the unique life balance devices. These are portable devices that help our body to prevent many diseases. The most important thing is that these electromagnetic waves are absolutely safe for the human body, because the frequency of vital activity of parasites does not intersect with the frequency of human vital activity. Life balance is completely safe. Today, our company represents the best bioresonance technologies on the market, which have been chosen by more than 300,000 families around the world. Now this technology is available to you. Find a consultant of the Business Process Technologies company and order devices for your family now. Use the latest technology and be healthy.